everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be my monthly first impression video, and it is going to be on a Korean cosmetics, which is this Nature's Collection Signature Cushion with SPF 50+, PA+++. So I got this off the Rose Shop website, where I usually buy some of my Korean cosmetics. What attracted me to try this one out is actually because it came with a brush. Not a lot of, cushion foundation actually come with a brush. And my assumption is it's because most cushion foundations aren't like super high coverage, and at most you're gonna get is probably like medium coverage. But there are certain spots maybe on your face where you want that higher coverage, like such as my zit right here. So it came with a brush, and that's what attracted me to purchase this, and the fact that it's a marble kind of like design, which is actually really, really nice. With that being said, I got this off their website for about 13 something US, given the fact that Rose Shop also charges shipping on top. So I did, I did a little test, and if I just purchased this with the shipping, I think it was additional 11 something US. So I think if you only purchase this with the shipping, like the cheapest shipping that they have for it to ship to Canada per se, then you're paying about like, it works out to be about $33, $34 Canadian. So you might think, ooh, that is a little bit pricey. But when I purchased this, I actually purchased a bunch of like other things like, face mask and all that. I love my Korean face mask. So it works out to be a little bit better because face masks are a lot lighter. So when you put it in the same package, they only add like a few bucks on top. So in terms of shipping. So anyhow, so that's my little tip of saving on a little bit of shipping when you purchase a little bit more, but on things that are lighter weight. Anyhow, so this cushion foundation is only offered in 2 different shades, in number 23, Natural Beige, or I believe the other one is 21, which is more of a pinker shade. I think Natural Beige is like maybe more suitable for my skin. I'm not quite sure. I always find things with like SPF 50, PA+++ tends to be a lot lighter on my skin, so we will see. We will see. Anyhow, let me open up this box and show you guys how the cushion looks like. Okay, so out of the box, this is how the cushion compact looks like. It's actually a fair bit bigger than I thought it would be. It has that marble kind of design on it, and it's quite matte in terms of like the design with, their little, it's not really much of a logo, but I guess their name called Nature Collection. On the inside, we've got a mirror on one side, and then of course a puff right here, and then this thing pops up. I believe you can probably purchase refills, but I remember checking the website and they don't actually sell the refills off their website. So my hope is that this is like maybe a standard size, so you can always get a refill from like a different brand but still reuse the package, because I really like the package. Aside from it being a little bit bulky, it came with a brush. So this is more like, I guess, a travel size friendly brush. It's more of like a flat brush too, so it's not exactly like one where you would pat it down. Okay, after removing the package, this is how it looks like. It's a really, I would say it's a quite soft but also flimsy kind of brush too. Soft and of course flat kabuki kind of brush. Handle feels really good. I don't see myself traveling with these two together because of the fact that there's no like, I mean, I guess I can put the cover back on and, travel like that, but seems a little too much to bring around, because cushion foundations I always find is for convenience. That's the reason why you would, carry this around. Anyhow, I'm gonna zoom in to show you guys a bit of my flaws and see if this cushion foundation is able to cover up whatever they can. Now that you guys are up close, as you guys can tell, I have really dark eye circles. The only makeup that I did was my eyebrows, my eyes, and my lips. You can see my zit quite visible. And of course I do have a bit of freckles going on. So let's see if this can do much for me. This is how it looks like. I'm gonna take the puff off and then open this. And then let's see. Oh, okay. It looks just like any other cushion foundation. There's no monogram like some other ones have, it looks like it's quite saturated with product. And I'm just gonna push it in once. Oh, okay, that's quite a bit of product. And I'm just gonna pat it all over my face. It does have a scent to it, not super strong. It's like a skincare scent. I know that's like horrible way of describing scent, but yeah. So far it looks pretty good on my skin. I haven't like obviously put it all over my face. One patting apparently didn't do all the job, so I would go back in for, you know, maybe one or two, just lightly pat. So this is basically like one layer. You can still see a bit of that zit, and I do have a scarring going on here. The camera probably doesn't capture much of it, so I'm actually going to try to use this brush and dab it into the product and see, you know, see if it does much more than what I think it does. Gave it a bit higher coverage there, and then like areas like underneath my eyes, I always find it quite hard. Although because this brush isn't, you know, tapered or anything, it's a bit harder to get to. Alright, so I gave it a little bit to like, you know, maybe oxidize or anything like that, and I have to say it looks pretty good. Pretty good in covering, you know, my zit down here. I felt that using that brush did give it a bit extra coverage, but I may have been able to do that with, you know, just a puff as well. So I actually quite like it right now. It feels really comfortable on my face, and I have to say, like, using the brush does give it a little bit more coverage, but I kind of also felt like maybe the puff would have done the same for me, but I thought, you know what, I wanted to try out the brush itself. I'm going to test this out and wear it for pretty much all day or as long as I can. And of course also checking in midday to let you guys know, did, you know, any oil seep through, did it seep through into my fine lines or anything like that. Currently right now it is 10:50 in the morning. I know I started my day a little late, so I will come back and check in with you guys midway, probably around 2 or 3. Alright, so I am back. So currently right now it is actually almost 3 p.m. So I've had on this cushion foundation for about, I would say, 4 hours, I would say. So I think it's about time to check in with you guys. I did run some errands, did some laundry, cleaned up my room, and went out to eat. So I did go outside, so I don't know if that may have affected any of this foundation that's on me. From far as I can tell, nope, not really. It still kind of just looks like how it looks like when I first had it. So let me zoom in to show you guys. So as you can tell, it's still pretty good. It's still been covering up my zit right here. Still kind of looks quite new, like as if like before. I can tell that my forehead has started to peep out maybe some oil that's on my forehead. I did have a dry patch on my nose, and I don't think it's accentuating any of that dry patch, which is great. I did rub my nose a bit, so a little bit has come off, but not a whole lot. You can't really tell. Anyhow, so I will check back with you guys and give you guys my final thoughts towards the end of the day, maybe another 3 hours. Alright, so I am back for my final check-in and to give you guys my thoughts on this foundation that's been on my face for, I would say, 7 hours. It's currently 6:13, so it's been about a little bit more than 7 hours, so almost full day. I'm actually getting ready to go out for dinner tonight, so that's why I thought I'm gonna let you guys know my final thoughts, and well, I still have the natural lighting so you guys can actually see. As far as I can tell from looking in the mirror, not a whole lot has changed. A bit of my foundation on my nose has been rubbed off because I've been rubbing my nose, and like, it's allergy season for me, so that's why my nose is kind of congested. Oiliness wise, I think I'm the same oiliness whether or not if I had this foundation on. The zit wise, it's still covered, as you can tell. I will give you guys a close up to, I guess, confirm all that I just said. So now that you guys are close up, you guys can probably see it kind of looks like how it was like when I first applied it on. So yeah. Anyhow, overall, if I had to pay $30-something Canadian for this, I may not actually feel like it's that worth it, considering the fact that it didn't come with a refill either. And this brand to me is not like super well known, but I have to say this is one type of Korean cushion that I really like because it didn't give me that white cast. I can't say that, you know, in photos or anything because that's something I didn't test. But I assume if I did, because there is SPF 50, there may be somewhat of a white cast. But the idea is that this shade, 23 Natural Beige, actually worked for me. Like, I can't say this for the summertime because I tend to get a bit like one shade darker, maximum 2 shades if I go and tan myself. But aside from that, no, I kind of stayed the shade most of the time throughout the year. So I'm really liking that. I'm really liking that because it's hard to find. But of course, with that being said, what drew me was pretty much the brush. I have to say it was kind of disappointing in my perspective, considering the fact that it was quite flimsy. It didn't really actually do much. Like, I could have probably got any other brush to, you know, pat on my zit to give it that extra coverage. It didn't really get into my crevices on my nose easily. I would actually prefer this to be like a tapered, like a completely tapered off foundation brush maybe, so that at least I can get underneath my eyes here in the crevices of my nose that, you know, the cushion itself can't get into. So, you know, that's what I thought this would be, but unfortunately this is a little bit disappointing. I mean, it's soft, don't get me wrong. I probably can still use this as a foundation brush, maybe for other foundations that I have, but aside from that, I can't see myself using it coincide together. With that being said, I still think this design is really pretty. It doesn't feel cheap or anything like that, so definitely that in that perspective, it's good. And because I like this foundation that feels on my face, the fragrance isn't heavy. It still feels very natural. I still can feel like my skin is breathing through this. So I would give this a like, but in terms of like pricing, I personally would not pay $30-something for this because of the fact that there isn't actually a refill that I can purchase off the website. So I'm not even actually sure where I would be able to purchase the refill for this cushion foundation. So that's one downfall, but the product itself, great. Like I said, doesn't make my face extremely oily or anything like that. This is the normal oil that I would get through, you know, towards the end of the day anyway, so I can't blame it on this at all. I do have combination dried skin, oily in my T-zone area and dry around this area. And I have to say, like, you know, it didn't accentuate any of my dry patches like I mentioned earlier, and it doesn't make my face more oilier than it normally is. So anyhow, that's my first impression on this. I'll probably still continue using it, and honestly, if it changes, I probably will put it in the description box down below to let you guys know, but I can't see this changing a whole lot for me. I mean, other than, you know, on days where I'm a little bit more sensitive, then maybe. But anyhow, so this is my first impression on this cushion foundation right here. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if so, remember to give me that thumbs up. I do try to upload one video each week, so do subscribe to my channel and turn on that little bell for notification. I shall see you guys in my next video. Bye!